Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't like Scarlett Johansson.
Why not?
It's a lot to get into.
Well, I mean, we've got nothing but time, baby. Hit me with it. What's up? What do you not like about her?
I
Give
don't
me
know,
like
man.
the top thing.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I saw
Hold
a
on.
video.
Which one is Scarlett Johansson? I'm not good with this.
She plays. Shut up! I'm embarrassed.
Oh my god, it was the funniest article I've ever read in my entire life.
I watched a couple of compilation videos on YouTube. I've got it all figured out.
You're listening to the No Big Banana Podcast.
Welcome back to the No Big Banana Podcast. My name is Charles.
My name is Justin.
And I'm Cody.
I think that maybe it's one of those situations where Scarlett Johansson. We're still talking about Scarlett Johansson. I know that we cut
100%.
for that opening, but we're going back to this.
Cody's on my team, though.
Fucking.
Because she's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, they're all irrelevant to me, but...
She's the girl in the superhero movie.
Yeah, I think she's like the Black Widow.
With the
Oh.
She's in
Oh.
Avengers.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man. I feel like I just,
Yes.
disappointed a large number of people in our audience
Eh.
by being so, grandfather about...
Oh, I thought you
She's
just.
that girl with the superhero.
Who's that one girl in the movie with the pictures where they're moving?
She's the spider lady from
Yeah.
Russia.
Spider lady.
Yeah. That's, it's, I don't know.
I remember now. Octopussy. That's her name.
I don't think she's a very good actress, bro.
I don't know. I haven't seen very much with her. Other
I mean-
than Avengers.
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where she's just kind of been typecast as that particular girl, and she hasn't really had a chance to show off acting chops.
That's bullshit. What has she been in? Let's pull up her fucking
Literally
history.
everything is
I
because
like
she's
her
an
in
attractive
Avengers.
woman.
Yeah, but that's the
all I
whole
know.
thing. Is that
Yeah.
that's look, man.
I would say the same thing. It's like when Jim Carrey tries to go out of comedy, or like when Ashton Kutcher was like, "I'm gonna be Steve Jobs."
No,
I mean, Jim
that's
Carrey
a cop
going out
out.
of comedy,
She's
what
had
was that one
plenty
movie?
opportunity to impress me with acting skills.
What was that one Jim Carrey movie? That was number
I loved
Number
Eternal Sunshine of the
12?
Spotless Mind. Number 23.
23.
Yeah.
That's right.
She was in Lost in Translation,
I never saw it.
and she's one of the only reasons that there's a Bill Murray movie that I'm not that fond of.
Oh, that's right. There is one where he's like,
I just don't.
Yeah.
It's like watching old pre John Wick Keanu. Because,
Okay.
because now he's cool,
with the exception
right?
of Bill and Ted.
Remember how he was always the same, and then now he became cool? Because of
John Wick is just like the 21st century version of the Matrix.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's just now the one, but it's not in a machine. It's just
Yeah, but I feel like
Really?
Scarlett Johansson, much like Keanu Reeves, is not a person where I would be like, oh, hey, this person's in that movie. I better go see it. You know what I mean?
I would feel that way about Margot Robbie. I've never
feel
really
that
been that
way
big of a
about
fan
a
of
lot
her.
of people.
I disagree with that. I think that Margot Robbie's a great actress.
I'm not saying anything about
dude.
acting chops.
Well, have
We
you
literally just moved over to a conversation where you were like, it's a kind of movie where if she's the lead in it, I don't really care about seeing it. And all I said was I kind of feel that way about Margot Robbie. And you're like, she's a great actress.
Yeah.
It's that's not what we were talking about. We moved over from the acting ability.
When?
Oh my God. You had just said she is the type of woman who, if she is the star of a movie, I'm not really that interested in seeing it. And I said, yeah, I feel
Right.
that way about Margot Robbie. And you were like, oh, she's a great actress. What are you talking about?
Right,
All I'm
because-
saying is
right,
that when I
because-
see her name, I'm like, meh.
I know, but the reason
Meh.
that I said
Meh.
that I go meh,
Meh.
is because of her acting ability.
Cool.
Or
I just
in my
meant in
opinion,
okay.
lack thereof.
Don't shit on me just because I'm meh about Margot Robbie. God damn.
Well, I just think that you must be living in crazy town if
No.
you think that Scarlett Johansson is more enjoyable of a watch than Margot Robbie.
They're both on the spectrum of meh.
I think that you just don't watch movies.
I do, just not
And
many.
that's what the real problem is.
I like a lot of older movies.
What
There's
about
not-
you? Where do you sit on this fence,
Yeah.
Cody?
It's not a lot of
Yeah.
actors or actresses that can pull me in by themselves. I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
listen to Mr. Critic.
Yeah.
No, I care more.
Mr. Moderate over
I don't
here.
give a shit who's in it. I just want the
Riveting
movie
plot.
to be a good story and good movie.
I don't know, man. There's certain
Like-
actors that are just like there's
What
certain
is it,
directors.
Even
I feel that way about
I think it was
directors,
called
not
Monuments
actors.
Men or something like that. That was a World War
Yes.
II movie. Never saw it because I really just didn't care for any of the actors. It was about a cool World War II story, and I love history, but never gave a shit.
I would say actually to that point, I would say that I'm more in for a director than I am an actor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or a studio producing it.
Well, probably.
I don't really care who the fuck is in Kubo of the Two Strings, but my God.
Oh yeah, but that movie was dope.
Yeah. So I feel the same way about
I'll see anything Guillermo del Toro makes.
Right, exactly,
in a
yeah.
heartbeat.
Or Quentin.
Or
Or
Quentin.
Yeah. Or Harvey Weinstein. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. I couldn't even say it with
No,
a
he's a
straight face.
producer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. We're canceled.
Actually, Weinstein was just the owner of a company, not a director.
Yeah.
So as I was saying earlier, unfortunately, Love Island only has one episode left.
Oh.
But the good news is RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12 has started. So I've got that going for me.
I'm living in an anime drought, bro.
In terms of what?
An
What's
anime
going
drought?
on?
Oh, there's just nothing coming out right now. There's like 4.
Did you go see the Academia movie?
No, but I want to.
Well, then go see it.
I know. If the first movie was any indication, it's going to be a fucking raging good time.
You know what's weird about movie prices and shit is that
What?
like now I just went and saw Joker, so that was relatively
Oh, yeah? How was it?
recent. You haven't seen Joker?
No, I haven't seen it.
What?
No, I haven't seen Parasite either.
I think Joker was good, but I feel like people treat it like it's some crazy like manifesto on humanity, and it's like
Right.
it was fucking Taxi Driver.
I can
It was
see.
falling
With
down
clown
with
makeup.
Joker.
Yeah,
with
if
clown
falling,
makeup. It was
if I were
good.
falling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on it saying it was a bad
Yeah.
movie. It was good. It was enjoyable, but like I feel like some people treat it like it's some like transitive.
But I
for
kind of
sure.
feel that
It's
way
like-
about those other movies too. Is like they are pretty powerful in the message that they send.
Which
It's
ones?
like falling down and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
It's nothing.
I thought you were
to
talking about
scoff
like
at.
Dark Knight
No,
or like,
no.
you know, the other Batman movies.
No, it's like when movies make a message like that, especially with a character that's as infamous as the Joker. You know, everybody from the age 6 to 70 knows who the Joker is. So when you associate that message with somebody that's that well known and that relatable, as opposed to like in Falling Down, just
Oh,
throwing
sure.
it out
I
there,
see what you're saying.
it's
Yeah.
just a little bit more like meaningful to some
yeah.
people.
It hits a little bit more close to home because
Yeah.
it feels more relatable of the
Exactly,
story.
because
Yeah.
some of them grew up reading Joker comic books with Batman
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
some
mean,
of them
I grew up
on the
reading-
cartoon.
I grew up reading like The Dark Knight, like
That's the Frank Miller one, right?
yes,
Yeah, dude.
the super fucking dark one.
Yeah.
The Joker's like bananas.
I feel like though, I don't remember if this is how it still is going, but I remember there being like kind of an odd, almost kind of like weirdly like grotesque renaissance in comic books where like Joker was like peeling his face off
There's a
and
lot.
like putting his face back on. and, like,
Batman Who Laughs
Yeah.
was dark,
like really
creepy.
brutal shit just for the sake of being.
Yeah.
I actually find like the original like the Killing Joke much creepier than
Killing
like
Joke.
the Joker ripping off his face and wearing it as a
Right.
mask, you know.
The Killing Joke was
Yeah.
just so creepy because it made him a human.
Well, and it was like the first time you had an experience in a comic book like that with like a literal psychopath,
right.
Where it wasn't like there was no
Reason
like you
for-
honestly you still like. That's the best thing about the Joker is you still don't know which fucking backstory is the correct one,
Right.
you know? Like
That's why
awesome.
I like the movie so much.
yeah, but part of me feels like that was kind of a convenient cop out for writers.
It is.
Yes,
It's always
I mean,
it's always really good to
you
have
could
a
be
character
cynical
that's
about it,
super
sure.
open ended. That's what
Well,
I'm gonna say.
I
I think
just-
it's a little cynical.
They
but-
have a million linear characters, and it's really good to have one that's just so open ended that they can create to do anything that they want to.
Plus, like, it makes it a lot easier for other people to pick up the mantle.
Yeah.
Because there is no one set rule. Like, because with like,
Exactly.
Bruce Banner, fucking Bruce Wayne, his parents died.
Egocentric
That's it.
billionaire.
Like, it has to happen that way for
Yeah.
those events to happen. Whereas with, like, Joker, it's like, the whole point is he could be anybody one day away from, like, the turning point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can kind of have fun with it however you want to do it.
That's
so.
why I like the new movie
It's
so
pretty
much because it,
I'm
it
sure I
wasn't,
like it.
It wasn't just like the Joker. Like
just
it
haven't
had
seen
nothing really to do with the Joker.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean, and
just
that
a
kind of
good
seemed
movie.
that seemed to be the case just from like the trailers and shit.
Yeah,
It was
and
like-
and a lot of people said that like if it wasn't called Joker, nobody would have cared, nobody would have seen it because it just would have been
Yeah.
a ridiculous movie.
There was, like, a
But
bunch of, like, bullshit about,
I disagree.
like, oh,
Like with
man.
Parasite winning, I think there's a big gap in horror
Yeah,
or
but-
relatable horror that needs to be filled with what's actually a stigma going around right now, like
Yeah,
the
but
mental
sure.
health and all that
But
stuff. Or
Parasite,
caste systems.
Parasite was, and I haven't seen it, but I can assume that it was great because I've heard from people
Mm-hmm.
whose opinions I trust that it was great.
yeah, pretty much across the board. I haven't heard anyone say anything like
But nobody saw that
Substantially
shit.
bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like nobody was talking about let's go to the theater to see. Like,
Right.
Nobody saw that shit.
Right.
And it might have been the best film. That's well and good.
Was
but,
it all
like,
subtitled?
Everybody went and saw
Mm-hmm.
Joker.
that's probably why.
It was in,
There's
it
a
was in,
huge-
it was
yeah,
in
there's a huge-
theaters
oh,
here
dude,
for a
people
good
were
section
going
of time.
nuts
though.
about that shit online.
I don't.
People were like
I like
I
South
want
Korean
my money
movies.
back.
I didn't pay $9 to read.
Yeah, no, I love Korean movies.
Pretty
Like they
much.
had Train to Busan
Fucking
was made recently.
What was it, like Old Boy, No Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance?
Dude,
Those
Old
are fucking
Boy is the
crazy.
shit, bro.
I'm not talking about like the Americanized version one.
Koreans go.
Korean film is
I feel
really
like
good.
Koreans are like.
That scene with the tooth being pulled out with the pliers. Oh shit!
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, before we go into that, it's time for semi-current events.
Semi-current events.
And as of right now, today, with this airing, it is Super Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh shit! That's right. This is going on Super
Super
Motherfucker Super
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So,
Place
all
your
of the-
place your bets.
All of the voting's been done as of for us just a couple hours ago. For listeners, a few days ago, Pete Buttigieg has dropped out of the race.
I didn't know
Yep.
until I got that text message from Cody.
My heart was destroyed.
Oh yeah, well he's always like he's got his fucking ear to the ground. So like when something big happens, I'll probably get a text from him before I'll see it.
You're like the TMZ.
Yeah,
Telling
politics.
Yeah, telling the
are,
parents
dude.
before the cops get there. Yeah.
It is all the time. I found out
horrible.
so much shit through just like.
It's like Cody texted me
Cody.
like, "Oh my God, North Korea just attacked," and then all of a sudden it's like the radio says like, "Oh my God, North Korea attacked." It's like, bitch, I just found out 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, fuck all of this like fake news shit. Like you don't know what's biased. It's like,
Yeah.
where do you get your news? Chaz is like, I just like check my text.
I got a pocket libertarian on speed
And then
dial.
I know what's going on. That's pretty much how it goes down.
No, so like, okay, so fill me in what actually happened with that because I just got the text. I didn't
He
know.
just dropped
just
out.
quit?
I don't think that he's
they
given a
haven't-
reason
they- Yeah,
yet.
they haven't given an exact reason yet. But
I know. I know. The last I heard was that like Biden did extremely well. And
Yeah,
now
Biden
he's,
crushed
like,
it.
Though I mean,
I don't know if he did extremely well. I mean,
didn't he win pretty much
yeah, but
every
he got
district?
like 49% of the votes.
I can't remember the
But I
final
still think
tally
he
last
won.
time.
out-
It was
Didn't he like
52.
win out on top on every district though?
Well, probably.
Yeah,
So I mean,
definitely.
like that is a sweeping.
But so
win.
did
That's-
Bernie.
Yeah, but-
so did Bernie in the
The
Right.
last.
majority of people.
But the thing was that like Biden was like hammering down like this is the key, this is the thing that's gonna and then he actually did it. So
Yeah.
for him, kudos.
Oh yeah, like it's good that
Good
he
for
won
you.
for him. I mean, if
I mean, we
the
all
thing that
damn
bothered
sure
me,
knew Klobuchar wasn't gonna take.
right? The thing that bothered me beforehand was he made a quote that said, "South Carolina is going to be the leaping pad for my campaign," and I don't like politicians saying that.
Yeah, it sounds
and
a bit
especially
dickish.
as a
Yeah.
constituent. It sounds to me like, oh, you don't have to work for my vote.
Oh yeah, we're just
We're just gonna hand it
We're
to
the
you.
trampoline that you're
So
gonna jump off.
exactly.
Of, yeah.
So I don't like that when politicians say stuff like that. It's very short sighted.
At least you said it to your face and not behind your back.
Exactly.
But
yeah, right.
I don't know.
Good God, Buttigieg won 3% of black votes in South Carolina. Damn.
Yeah.
There's a reason to drop out by itself.
Yeah, but I mean, not before Super Tuesday, in my opinion. The only reason I can.
I mean, how much
think-
money did he have?
That's the thing. That's.
Did he
That's
have
what
enough?
that's what Cody said.
I think he just ran out of money, and he wouldn't. No matter how good he did in Super Tuesday, he probably would
Yeah.
not have been able to
he
advertise
seemed
all
bright-eyed and
this.
bushy-tailed. I can't imagine that he would just be like, I can't do it.
I know.
There had to have been something.
So there's a reason for sure.
Fucking Sanders with a shank in the locker room at the DNC, like,
Hello, it's me again, asking you to drop out of the fucking race.
get the fuck out of the race. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, speaking of which, I don't know if either of you saw, but technically speaking, Mike Bloomberg is still in the race.
Yeah, isn't he like
I'm
creeped up to
using my
third?
air quotes. Here's the funniest thing about all of that is that he was just in a church in Selma, Alabama. And when he got up to speak,
That's not-
some of the people stood up and turned around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he like not only like
That's so disrespectful. Like, I'm going to stay here, but I'm going to just stay in a position where you know I'm not fucking listening to your
yeah.
shit.
Here's a little fact for you: humans hear better from their back than they do their front. That's horrible.
That's not what the point is at all. No, I did.
don't know
I
if
did
that's
actually
true,
like.
I'll
I
be
thought it
honest.
was. I am really enjoying seeing the billionaire feuds on Twitter between Mike
God.
Bloomberg and Trump. Because like his last one, I don't know if this was his last one, but where he was like, Donald Trump like said something to him. He was like, "Hey man, we know all the same people in New York. Everybody is laughing behind your back. Literally everybody. I have resources. I have a track record. I'm going to take your job from you, and then you can go back to all these people who hate you." And I was like, damn, dude, he just said that you were mini. Like, all they did was say that you're short. Like, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny.
Dude, this is like billionaire versus billionaire. That's like pissing on Teddy Roosevelt's grave.
Yeah, we should have celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah.
We should do like
God.
celebrity deathmatch style,
Yeah.
like just throw them in a ring.
It's literally gotten to a place now where it's like I'm looking at like 2 fucking episodes of Dr. Phil
Yeah.
hanging out talking to each other. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like disrespectful teen followed by like alcoholic mother.
Yeah.
And then it's like those who and now you vote for one of them for president.
Yeah,
It's like
pretty much.
shit, man.
I do think like I did really enjoy SNL's thing where it was like Warren was like holding on to him and was like, "It's my full-time job to make your life a living hell, Mikey," and then like just kept like smacking him on the face and like playing with him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, that whole stop and frisk thing is really gonna crush him. I think
It should.
It should,
it's really
but
just like that's gonna be the thing. You can't buy your way out of that.
That's like Nazi
kinda-
tendency shit. And then to be like, oh, I changed my mind.
No,
Let's
no,
fuck outta
disgusting.
here.
too
It's
is like-
disgusting to me that he has as much support as he does right now based on that.
It's not based on that. It's just based on how much money he's pumping into his campaign for
Yeah.
people who aren't paying attention to his previous policies.
Right.
But like,
Right. Well, you better believe the fucking minorities are paying attention to
oh
that
yeah,
shit.
of course.
Hopefully.
But like, not only is it like that he's been trying to walk it back and like, I'm sorry, but like, there's video evidence that came out now where he's like sitting in a room and he's like, we were pretty unfair to the whites in New York, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, yeah, we saw too many white people and not enough, people of color, so we had to change that to make it fair. And I was
Those
like,
guys live just
are you-
unplugged from the planet, bro.
it just doesn't make any sense.
They don't-
way up in ivory towers.
They don't get how
Yeah.
life works, dude.
It
For
just blows my
real.
mind, yeah.
Like look at part
And even
of the reason that this Trump thing has been so crazy is that this is business as usual for him.
Yeah.
This kind of behavior has been the status quo his whole life.
And
He's
it
just got
seems-
a lot more people looking at him now.
Yeah.
And it seems that if you you have to make the effort to keep your humanity once you get to the point where you're living that lifestyle. Like, 'cause
Sure.
Bloomberg didn't make his fortune until he was well into his older age.
Right.
So he knew what it was like to be a human.
Also,
up to
Tom
that point.
Steyer dropped out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Good riddance.
Right.
But you
Get a
have
different
to,
fucking tie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see you around,
you have
Tom.
to. You have to stick with your humanity.
Plaid doesn't look good
You have
on
to
you.
really make an effort to.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna lose touch with everything.
Yeah,
And
I mean, even like there are even points where like Bill Gates and shit, who like clearly came from like nothing, not
Well,
nothing,
yeah.
but the
Upper
white
middle- upper
equivalent
middle
of nothing.
class.
Yeah, the upper middle class equivalent
Right.
of nothing
Right.
to being one of the wealthiest people in the world, and even he's still sometimes like, oh yeah, I mean, I just can't give up all my money. Like, oh yeah, I mean, I already give it up for AIDS research. Like, stop saying I need to have money. And it's like, okay, you clearly don't
Yeah.
get it either. Like, you're literally just donating for the tax write-off. But
Yeah, that's another big fuck up that's going on in this country is how the taxes are handled.
Oh, yeah.
And it isn't even about taxing the rich more. Like, let's fix all of the fuck ups first.
yeah.
And how about we don't tax the rich more? We just make the
Balance
rich
the budget.
pay what they fucking should be paying and get rid
That
of all of
sounds-
this
that's-
bullshit where they're fucking contracting artists for
That's a
50
real
grand.
liberal way of saying more.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree.
Because more suggests that, like, I'm going to just go in here and see that you
Technically-
see you're paying 5% and make you pay 10.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and say, hey, fuckstick, if you made $10 million and you're not paying any taxes to the government on some bullshit like art loophole,
yeah.
you need to fucking pay your percentage,
more.
bro.
Yeah.
Not more.
It's
What
more
you
than what they're
should be
paying right now, baby. And that's how they're going to look at it.
Right.
That's how they're going to look at it. You know, that's going to be their defense. Like, well, I'm already paying, like, property taxes. I'm already paying, like, personal taxes. It's my company. It's not
Right.
me, it's my company.
Right.
Because there's all kinds of bullshit like that. Although I do think it is fair to say, and I do think it goes to, if you look at the way that, like, any of these countries that Sanders is looking to as a model, they've all kind of backed off of that, like, taxing the rich, and it becomes more taxing the middle class and lower class. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I can't remember if it was France that tried it in the 90s.
I think that was either Denmark or Scandinavia, because those are the ones that
Something
he was
like that.
that he like uses as the model.
Well, somewhere it really didn't work in the 90s, and that's why they had a lot of economic
yeah,
issues.
I think
was
I
because of-
think that was either Scandinavia or Denmark, one of the two.
Yeah.
One of those countries that he always talks about.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, but I don't think it's a bad thing that like I don't think it's that unreasonable that taxes go up a little bit. If we change the way that the government is working, so it's not just a bunch of like fuck sticks who already are incapable of doing anything to the basic level that they possibly can, that's the only way that I would be okay with like
more taxes.
Just allowing more government influence.
Yeah, I agree.
As if they were not as incompetent as they are.
Yeah, I honestly agree. If it was ran more by the people, say you knew exactly what your tax dollars were being spent on precisely. If there was a public vote for military funding, if there was a public vote for healthcare funding,
if we as the people decided
decided where our money went, I would be perfectly fine with
maybe some
all
fucking testing kits for the coronavirus.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you're going to suggest that radical idea, then the next obvious question is, well, then how do we decide that, Cody? Is it majority wins? Are you telling me that 51% of the nation can decide what the other 49.9% does?
Right.
It's better than what we've got going right now.
You can make it 60-40.
Which is where the popular vote doesn't even count for that.
Minimum 60.
That's true.
Yeah,
So,
minimum.
I mean, at least it's better than the alternative.
I say minimum 60% support.
You could do like a supermajority. Yeah.
Yeah, but the trouble with that's up.
Oh, fuck.
I guess we'll have to talk about that next time. It really sneaks up on it. Why do they have to fuck the bell?
Yeah, because nobody else is doing that. And
Why
sometimes
does
the bell needs
there's
a little bit
a
of love.
reason that
Listen,
no one
man,
else is doing that.
Because they're not cash money.
I don't
Just
know.
run a train on the bell.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just
All right,
Eiffel
Jesus,
Tower
guys.
the fuck out of
We
that
might
bell.
be out of the eye of the storm when it comes to the Me Too movement, but we're still on the fucking bands of it, all right?
Yeah.
So let's
With
try
its
and
permission.
relax.
With its permission.
Yes.
Consensually fuck that bell.
Get to dinner
Consensually
first.
Yeah, and by the way, if anybody doesn't
Follow us
know
on
what the hell
Twitter.
he's been saying,
Facebook,
he's been saying to follow us on Facebook
Twitter, Instagram.
and Instagram at No Big Banana.
We make hot memes.
And send
Pretty good
emails to
memes.
nobigbanana@gmail.com.
Yeah. That's
But yeah,
about it.
turn
I like
the
to
bell
fuck with
on
Chaz.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And we love you and we appreciate you.